Hello again. Today I'm looking into Margaret and Mary Ormesher, who sadly perished in 1956 in the town of Ormskirk. Not everything seems to be as it seems, looking at the details. Looking at the images, there's a possibility, looking at them, that Margaret opened the door on that fateful day to the person who killed them. Mary was in the front room and she was just sitting in the chair. There was a brief silence. Nothing. And then he suddenly went at Mary. What were they really hiding in the actual freezer? What was it that was really kept on ice? Now, there are documentations and news reports saying that they were into money laundering or money lending. They seem to be into a little bit more than that. So the question of let's keep things sweet is order of the day, I guess. But whatever she had kept in that freezer, she didn't want to let go. And I guess when it comes to business, it's who you know, not what you know, I guess. Maybe they wanted more money in return. Maybe they thought they'd get the upper hand. But as the killer loomed over them, it was obvious that their fate was in his hands. He may have gone off with the merchandise, who knows? But looking at the premonitions and the images in the ball, they obviously went over their heads in their business enterprise. So Godspeed to both of them. And I guess the moral of the actual story is know your business. Mind your own business. You know, if you're going to get into that kind of business, illegal activity, then you need to have the right kind of insurance, I guess. And the actual sisters obviously never did, or they thought they had. Sometimes you can get too complacent. So it was a fateful end for them. But they are in peace now. But looking at the images, that's what's coming through. But again, it's still an unsolved mystery. So we are just, I suppose, guessing. We're just being intuitive to what may or may not have gone on. But it does seem odd. Like it was just a casual robbing, to be honest with you. Who knows what people do really get up to in their own homes and in their own businesses. Maybe the sweet shop wasn't doing as well as people realised. Maybe it was a case of going back to the troubles with their parents, maybe protection racket, maybe a different form of lending money, payback, whatever goes with that kind of activity, that kind of business, which is not my forte, so I can't really comment. But it's a shame, really, but people do what people do. They say it's still unsolved. Why, after all these years, especially going back to 1956, would it still be unsolved? Surely there's a detective who works for the police authority or a private one who knows the situation, who can actually do the investigation. But for some reason it's not, unless they're just a tale to tell for the news, for people. It's hard to comprehend without knowing all the facts. Although I've got the premonitions, I can't go ahead and match them up with any other facts, because obviously, number one, I'm not at the property, and number two, I don't have any other details from case files, etc. and so forth, which is a shame, really, because it's an unsolved case. It would be nice to actually solve them, because the police obviously do get paid to solve these crimes, but obviously it hasn't been solved. And it sometimes niggles you, you know. Why hasn't it been solved? It was back in 1954. And I guess we'll never know. But, yeah, definitely looking at the details, it was Margaret who went first. Sorry, not Margaret, I mean Mary who went first. And then Margaret, as he marched her to the actual freezer. Gotta be something in that. As I said, what do you keep on ice? Apart from food. And I don't think he would have killed them over food. Do you? A strange one, this one. And I had some really strong premonitions about it, very strong images coming through. It's, as I said, it's very hard to be factual, because I can't base it on anything else bar what I've already read and what my own senses are actually telling me. So, Margaret and Mary Ormsher, who passed away in 1956 in the town of Ormskirk, England. May you rest in peace. I know there's been a lot of activity around your deaths, and I hope it is a lesson to a lot of people not to be overwhelmed or even burdened with anything like debt or even greed. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know I enjoyed looking into it. It was rather interesting on that one. So my next video, I think I'm just going to pick a year at random and see how we go with that. So I'll see you again in the next video. And don't forget, if you want to watch or get notified, then obviously please subscribe and like my videos as well if you do. But thank you very much. See you again.